Yeah.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Horror Talk Kills. We're here with Loaf and Frank. In today's episode, we're taking a look at the 1984 Nightmare on Elm Street and the 2010 remake. Boys, what are your thoughts? Start off real
Hey,
slow.
what's happening, boys?
Yeah, what's going on, everyone?
How are you
Well,
feeling,
how we
lads?
Before we jump into it,
Yeah.
how was everyone's week? What did we get up to?
Went away for a bit sunburnt, but it is what it
Yeah,
is.
nice.
Fantastic. Chilled at home. That's about it.
Well, today I've painted,
I can tell.
mowed, I've done workouts, I've been everywhere. I've been to Bunnings at 6:30 this morning.
Big day, mate. Big day.
I've had lunch. I've done a lot of stuff, boys, and punched out two pretty solid banger of films, I have to admit. Going back and watching them.
Two
And
solid
yeah,
ones.
I think we need to jump into this one this week, boys. So
I'm very excited for this one, man, to be honest.
Okay. Let's just start. So I'll start. That original Nightmare on Elm Street is just wow.
Yeah, no, so I had
Just
I had a little chat before we started. We didn't go too into depth with Frank.
Yeah.
But it was still as good as I thought it was. But there was a lot more that I picked up on that I didn't like in it.
Okay.
Like, there was a few more, like, they were just nitpicky things. Like, nothing too serious, but just way scenes played out. But some of the kills in the original movie are unmatched still till now. So, yeah.
As you
Like, where she just gets ragdolled around the room. Just looks so much better in the original one than in the remake, by far.
Yeah.
By far.
Oh.
One of the best scenes I've seen in a horror movie.
It's still fantastic, but the 2010 one's like that.
It's not even bloody, the 2010 one.
I know that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she gets slit first and the reason why, Harry, is because in the remake she gets slit before she gets thrown around. So she gets her gut cut open. In the remake, she gets cut
In the air.
after she's been thrown around the room.
Yeah.
So there's few things, and I've read a whole bunch of notes about the comparisons between, like, all these scenes are like iconic, really.
They
Nearly
did.
every scene in that original Freddy
Yeah.
is iconic as shit.
Yeah.
100% iconic. And I think with the remake, they twerked a lot of them to intertwine with their own storyline, but still had them in there.
Yeah, they
And I
did.
thought it was respectful.
They
didn't
did copy a lot of scenes, but they did, like, more of an
I mean,
homage. Yeah, there
there
was a
was-
lot of lines and a lot of scenes just copied and put over.
Yeah.
But they
So that's what I
they
was
didn't
saying.
copy a book from book. Like, there was similarities, but, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that was a massive talking point too, because people say, why remake a movie if you're just going to steal all the scenes from the original?
Yeah.
But
Well,
I
they
feel
did
like it's
change a
paying
lot, but
respect.
Freddy doesn't even seem like the same bloke in the remake than he does in the
No,
original.
well, I don't. That's the thing. I think they wanted to change that. I think they wanted that to be noticeable.
Yeah, I get.
So-
I wasn't the biggest fan of Freddy's look. I'm going to be completely honest. In the remake,
So this is what we did.
I kind of looked. He kind of looked like Kim Kardashian, a bit of plastic everywhere. Like, the CGI was pretty poor on his.
Did
like,
you watch it on Blu-ray or 4K?
No, I just.
Yeah.
How did we
Watch-
watch? Actually, let's go around the table with that. How did we watch it?
I just
watched.
rented
How did we watch the
on
original?
PlayStation. Rented
What
them
was
both.
that?
Rented them both.
Rented them both. What did you do, Frank?
I own both of them on just DVD. So,
So that's not Blu-ray, but that doesn't change the CGI because there's still a lot of scenes.
Well,
in the
I watched if anyone cares, I watched the original, the original on Blu-ray special edition with 4 alternate endings.
awesome.
Nice. But saying that, Frank, the CGI was still good in some scenes of the remake. Like, it was kind of bad in the scene where he pushes through the wall. That looked kind of bad. But the scene at the very end where he, like, punches through her, that looked cool. That looked cool as hell. Like, the CG was done good there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I agree. 100%.
I just wasn't.
With
I just
the
wasn't
look
the
of-
biggest fan of his look. Like, I'm gonna
With
be
the look of him, I know they definitely wanted to go for a more realistic burnt victim,
Yeah, no, yeah, I could see that.
and that was their game plan. Whether that holds up now, like, I watched it on normal DVD.
It
I know
was
there's a
10
big
years ago
difference
now,
between-
so.
That's true, also. So it is it's not
But
a new movie by any means. So.
I'm more of a fan of, like, actual visual effects than CG. Like, I would rather someone be in full makeup and costume, do you know what I mean, than be CG.
I think 2010 was the era where CG was the shit, man.
yeah,
like, with
because it was
the CG,
new to...
where
Yeah,
they
it
got
was
a CG it.
Yeah, it was new to everything. Yeah, no, I agree. What do you think about the look, Loaf?
Comparing them both,
Yeah.
oh look, the original smashes him, like
Yeah,
very him.
Same with yeah.
And I agree with H, man, because I'm a massive fan of the special effects of the old school.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s and that, where it was practical effects. Is that right?
Practical effects. That's what it's called. Yeah.
No, comments
that is
right. Practical effects. It kills it. It makes it more scary. It makes you go, oh fuck, you know what I mean, like that. Like when that scene when he just slices himself in the fucking maggots.
The maggots. Yeah.
Like, that's wicked. To Jack, how do we say his name? Jackie Earl
Haley.
Yeah.
Jackie Earl Haley. I wish they'd done the same. I wish they'd used CGI with him.
Yeah, I kind of liked it, man. We're going to get into, like, obviously comparing Freddy to Freddy soon. But, man, I loved the 2010 Freddy by Jackie Earl Haley's, man. I absolutely loved him.
Like, you like the look or you like the way he's... I didn't like...
the look, I really wish I got the chance to watch it in... Because Blu-ray and 4K make a massive difference. I don't care what you say. So I didn't mind watching the movie in that, but I only could watch it on DVD. So I just accepted it, and honestly... There was
it was 2010 though, so like
that's another thing where it didn't look as good.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like there was some scenes that did actually look kind of impressive, and then other ones that were like no way near impressive. And I don't know, they changed him up so much. Like his voice, he sounds like the Batman in parts, bro.
No, don't start. I'm going to disagree hugely, man.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm just not a fan. I never have been a fan of it ever.
I loved it. I think that was the biggest...
I did say to Frank, though, that the movie was better this time watching it. Like, I did enjoy it a slight bit more than the last times I watched it. But there was still, like...
It's like a fine wine, this movie. Every time I've watched it, it's gotten...
better, yeah.
Better.
But like I said to you just the other day, Loaf, the last time I did watch it was with a group of friends, so it wasn't like a serious sit down and watch. Do you know what I mean? That's why I think it was miles better this time watching it than last time I watched it.
Now, what I found interesting... Oh, sorry, Leif, you go.
Yeah, no.
Because I'm pretty much going to change the topic of what Harry was talking about.
Yeah, well, I just have a massive nitpick I want to get out later.
All right. Before
throw your nitpick. Just keep going, man.
Why? So there's that awesome scene at the start of the movie, bro. Awesome scene. Where in the remake, where he, do you know what I mean? Deep cut in his throat, sick scene. But then they're at the funeral and she falls asleep. Like, what the hell is that?
No,
that's just poor script. That is poor script. If you can't tell me different, but if I died and you just dozed off at my funeral, boys, wouldn't be happy.
The best
it's a fair point, man. It's a fair point, Life.
I had to laugh, right?
I hated it.
So I'm sitting there watching it, and she, what was the blonde-haired Sheila name again? Chris. She rocks up in a convertible, right, with no roof on it.
Yeah.
She gets out of the car and she locks the car.
Yeah.
It's got no roof on it. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, but it closes over when you lock the car, doesn't
it?
No, it doesn't. Wait, is that when they go on the school and they park on the side of the road?
And don't you think? All right.
Yeah.
So ain't they meant to be like 16?
I'm not sure.
Crystal Plus is 35. Like,
yeah, but like you got to remember, every movie
they're in high school. They could be like
Tobey Maguire was nearly 40 and played a teenager.
Yeah, but
But have you noticed the movies that actually
That's just a common thing.
Have you noticed the movies that actually get kid actors are always better, though?
Yeah,
they're always more
well,
realistic.
let's be fair. Johnny Depp wasn't fucking...
Oh, no, they were pretty young in there. They were like young 20s. Young 20s. They weren't teenagers, but they were like young 20s.
Yeah, but it's the same with this. They can drive a car, bro. What do you mean?
That's 16 in America, bro. You get your permit at 16 and you can drive by yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. So anywhere from 16 and above.
I want to hear it.
No, that was it. She fell asleep at the funeral.
It's a fair point.
Yeah, that's terrible, bro. It's so... It wasn't even... They hadn't even explained the micro sleeps or anything. It wasn't nothing like that. It was just her... She just dozed off at the funeral.
It's a fair point. It's pretty stupid. Why'd you fall asleep?
Yeah, like, you're traumatic. Your friends died and you're like...
I
might just take a nap, bro.
Maybe she's just tired.
During that scene where old mate slits his throat right at the start, that's awesome, man. Eh?
No,
let's just be real.
I've always liked that scene, bro.
It's a great opening.
Right,
and also, I don't know if you've noticed when he was drifting off, and you know how he goes from like real world into the dream world, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but I noticed weird little cool shit. And you know, like the flashing lights. Do you notice how they'll flash in green and red?
No, I didn't notice that.
Did anyone pick up on anything like that?
No.
It's just green and red. That's his sweater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's just badass shit like that I pick up on. I just thought it was well shot, man. It was great.
But do you know what the one thing? So I get the darker aspect of Freddy, okay, and I get what they were going for, but he still tries to crack jokes, sorta. But he says them in his Batman voice.
No.
Yeah, there was one where he's like, "Oh, I'm your boyfriend now," or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's confirmed that they wanted to have him as dark as
it just
Wes
doesn't
Craven's
work.
original.
Yeah, it just doesn't as
but
work.
But they also
as well.
wanted to have the dark humor side of it too, because that fit with Freddy and like the
yeah, but
third
the
Freddy
voice and the
stuff.
jokes just don't go together, man. You know what I mean?
That's what I felt worked so good, man. I honestly thought Freddy's dark humor was great, dude. I loved everything about it. To be like about Freddy, to be honest.
Nice.
Loved it.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
So, Frank, you're going to move on to a different subject, you said? You were going to change up the scenario a little bit?
Now I've written so much shit down. Yeah, I've got
go for it. Hit us with it.
So, another thing I wanted to talk about, and like, I was mentioning the little things that the remake kind of paid respects to, and there's things they changed up heaps and whatnot.
Paid homage.
Did anyone notice that Nancy's dad's not in the remake and he's not a cop? And he was such a huge part of the original? What do you think about that?
I prefer... When it comes to Nancy... What's your nitpick about it, though? What is it?
It's not a nitpick. I'm just bringing it up to see what you think about her dad not being in it. And the weird thing is also, in the original, Nancy's mum's an alcoholic.
A bad alcoholic, man.
Looks every time I see
her,
her,
she looks like she's just
had sex. It annoyed the shit out of me. Every time I seen her, it looked like she just come in from having sex, honestly. But in the remake, I honestly thought the mum in the remake was a lot better.
No, yeah, she seemed like an actual mum. But,
yeah, like,
bro,
she was awesome.
There was about 20 different scenes in that original.
But what do you feel about that?
She was just pulling vodka out of the closet or, like, out of somewhere.
Wait, did anyone notice when Nancy walks into the kitchen in the original? This made me laugh so hard. Yeah. She walks in, you see a full body shot of her, and then her mum goes, "Oh, have you slept? You look tired." And then Nancy randomly pulls up a coffee cup with coffee in it. Like, she did not have coffee.
I never pick up on movies, things like that in movies.
So it was so dumb.
What if she just picked it up off the table, bro?
She didn't, man. I'm just telling you.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I like, when it comes to Nancy and the mother relationship, I like the original, like mum and Nancy. Yeah,
you like the original, okay?
I do. I like the original, man. I felt more of
a connection.
Yeah.
Well, they have that. There's like a heart-to-heart moment
cool
towards the end.
That's fine, but that's just the way I see it. I like the relationship between them two actors in the original. I felt more. I connected more to them.
Do you know who I hated? I don't know his name.
What's that?
In the remake. No, not in the remake. The dude who kept falling asleep, bro. I just couldn't. He just wouldn't stay awake, man.
The main dude? Johnny Depp.
Well, yeah, is that Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
Man, fucking pissed me off the whole movie, bro.
Here's the thing. He does keep falling asleep.
Like, 3 of your friends have just died, bro. And you just, like, you're not taking anyone serious. And, do you know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah.
It's kind of
original?
Dumb. Yeah,
and it's stupid as shit because she goes, "I'm gonna set an alarm." He looks at his time. It's 11:45. She says 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then he falls asleep within that 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You got 15 minutes, bro. Just stay awake, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you're tired.
Yeah, but like even they did point out it's in the original remake too. Like Quentin falls asleep at the end, but his was cool.
I liked Quentin. I liked Quentin a lot more than I liked Johnny Depp's character, but
that's huge to say, man.
He was better.
I love Quentin too, bro. Quentin's awesome.
He played it with good emotion and stuff, bro. He played with good emotion. He actually looked like he wasn't shit. I liked Quentin.
I hated Quentin.
What did you hate about Quentin? He actually looked like he cared. Like do you know what I mean?
He was great, man. And I don't care what anyone says. Obviously, there's a lot of shit talked about this movie, man. But I don't give a shit what anyone says about Quentin in particular. He was awesome, man. This movie, And there's another huge notable thing that I noticed. Like in the original, which this is why the ending sucks for me.
Yeah.
But you notice Nancy defeats him by not fearing Freddy anymore.
Yeah.
And it's their fear that fuels Freddy that keeps him alive. In the remake, he actually says to Nancy, "It's your memories that feed me fuel to keep me going." So that's another huge thing I noticed anyway. So
you would have seen this, Frank. Oh, sorry, just quickly for the ending of the original, that wasn't how Wes Craven wanted it to end because it ended.
It doesn't make sense.
That's what I'm saying. Like she
turns, defeats him by not fearing him.
She turns and he like
2 seconds later, her mum gets a plastic blow-up doll gets ripped through the door.
I just want to say there is 4 alternate endings, boys.
Yeah, but there's only one.
That was the original one. Yeah,
that's the original, but now released on Blu-ray.
Loaf, we don't all have the Blu-ray. We don't all have the Blu-ray alternate endings, bro.
When I watched it, on my ending that I watched was Freddy drives away in the car with him in the car. Yeah.
Wait, that's not the.
So on the Blu-ray edition I've got, you can choose your ending.
Yeah, but we're talking like original.
I know you're talking but that's the one I watched. But I know it's on there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to jump 3 questions, right, boys?
Yeah.
Okay, I know we said it wasn't scripted, but it's not. But we don't run off scripts. But I just want to know, boys, your thoughts on both films' opening scenes. Who does it better?
They're both like really good in their own way.
Yeah.
I feel when I watch the original Freddy, I honestly can see why people literally shit themselves when they first watch that movie.
Yeah.
Because Freddy's still now 1984. He was still scary as shit, bro. I'm watching on DVD. Yeah. Except for the big long googly arms, I didn't understand that. I don't know why he had to be Pennywise for 5 minutes. But
back then, you gotta remember back then, bro. That's like people would have watched that and would have been like, "Wow, that's sick." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you're in the alley, you can only really see silhouette. It looks pretty dope. Do you know what I mean?
Let me quickly finish off.
Yeah, opening film. Both opening acts.
They're both fantastic in their own way, man.
Right.
To be completely honest.
Weirdly, because I don't honestly like much more about it. I like the remake. Like the remake scene. Okay. I've said to Frank multiple times that kill. It's just so gruesome, bro. Like he goes full deep.
Yeah.
It's like
boys. It's a Platinum Dooms film. You couldn't expect anything less.
No, that's a mean. It gives you a shock. Like you watch the movie and you're like this movie's done. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're saying here is, Frank, you're split down the middle.
They're both fantastic and overall. Tina at the start of the original's awesome, and Dean's death at the original's awesome. Yeah, simple as that.
Sweat. All right, and for me personally, I'm the same as you. I'm going to split them down the middle, which is fine. I'm going to split down the middle. I just think,
I honestly think that's the best part of the remake.
They're basically saying
is the opening
both
scene,
films catch our attention straight away.
Yeah.
So anyone that stumbles across this episode and has never seen it,
but you know how there's some movies, bro, when you're watching it, you put it on and you're not like totally engaged in the movie. Like if you're watching the remake and that scene happens, that's a scene that like grabs you. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like that's a grabbing scene. So that's why I think it has more of a wow factor to it.
100%. All right. So my next question is, Tiers, the middle of the film. How did we feel? Were we bored? Did we lose it a bit? Just the middle of the.
So the second act.
The second act.
Yeah. I'm just trying to put in my head. See, and here's another fun fact about the original. I'm pretty sure Freddy only has like a total of 7 minutes.
Yeah,
it's like 7 minutes in the whole movie.
Oh, is it 7?
Yeah, well, I literally went off Cody. He mentioned 7 minutes, so I'm just going to run off that. Quote him, don't quote me.
Like you're saying that with that, Frank.
So, but here's my big point. I feel like I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
No.
So that's how good I thought the movie was to keep me so intrigued.
I think
with minimum Freddy, bro. So the fact that I didn't realize he had like, we'll say 7 to 15 minutes, just to be sure.
Do you want me to fact check it real quick, or?
Yeah, you can if you fact check it for sure. Yeah. But anyways, that's my point. So yeah, honestly, the second act was good, and you're going to ask us about the third, I'm assuming. My third, I feel like the original drops off. Remake second act. Yeah, I don't know.
17 minutes.
H?
Oh no, Freddy Krueger has under 7 minutes of screen time in the entire film.
Yeah,
I knew that. In the original one.
Under 7 minutes.
I'm with Frank. Like, the characters just, in general, aren't as likable in the remake. Like, I like... Like, overall, the characters are better in the thing. So, like Frank said, I think it's more interesting to... Actually, you don't have to have kills on kills on kills to stay interested in the movie. So, with that aspect, probably the original.
Okay.
Well, another fun
the remake definitely had more going on, probably in... Do you know what I mean? In the second act.
I'm pretty sure the original had 4 kills and the remake only had 5. So
I'm not sure.
there wasn't that. No, I'm pretty sure that's spot on.
Yeah, but have you noticed in the remake there was a lot more scenes where Freddy was in it where he didn't actually get a kill, like the micro sleep that they brung into it, which was a pretty cool idea. Like there was a lot of times where he popped up, but he didn't actually. Do you know what I mean?
Well, no, it's funny how like, and this is why I thought the remake was also kind of genius because they brought in micro nap, which is obviously a real life thing, right? So that makes total sense. And then they stayed so true to obviously Tina's body bag scene in the original is pretty much at the start, but they introduced Nancy to having micro naps, and that's how she's seen Chris's body in the body bag right way at the end of the movie. Yeah. I just thought it was badass as shit, man, and well done.
So Harry,
Page,
third act.
Oh, definitely. Are we talking ending? Because the ending in the like the actual ending of the remake is probably better because the ending of the original is kind of like Frank said, it's a dummy that gets ripped through a thing. And I did mention to Frank earlier that I'm a big fan of the scene where her mum actually just gets like punched through the mouth. You know what I mean?
And this,
I thought that was cool.
And like another huge thing the remake's got going for it is how do you defeat Freddy? It's by not fearing him. In the remake, they didn't stop fearing Freddy. They just brought him back and slit his throat. So he, in his own right, can come back and pull her through the mirror because he's not defeated. In the original, this is where they mess up. They defeat him by not fearing him. Yeah. But then 2 seconds later, she walks outside, and then he's alive again.
Yeah, but there's something else fueling it, man.
What?
You know, there's not just other, like that. So there would be other kids, like it was what, another.
Yeah, but if Nancy doesn't fear him, you see 1 second before she walks out the door him disappearing.
That's right. She doesn't fear him.
So she feared him within.
No, but that was in that scene there.
That makes no sense.
Why does Freddy disappear when, the cop comes up, the dad?
Because she stopped fearing him then.
Oh, okay. But
so he disappears, and she's like, "Screw you, I don't care no more."
Makes sense, yeah. But then he comes back and then goes to attack her, and then.
That's what I mean. Again. 2 seconds later, it makes no sense at all. Where the remake, they didn't stop not fearing him, cut his throat, fair.
Yeah.
He's all entitled to come back because they still do fear Freddy. They never not feared him that whole movie.
Or stop
boys. Thinking about him.
Sweet. Alright, my next question that I want to debate now. Alright. Both Nancy's. Let's split them down the middle.
Easily.
Fuck.
The original is
pretty noticeable.
Better. The original one is easily better. In my opinion. She's a lot more likable in general. I don't know what her name. I have no idea, bro.
But it's like Heather Langer or something.
But
hey, Heather.
Just in general, I think the original one is a lot more likable of a character. Do you know what I mean? But that's just a stigma with 2000 movies where teen characters aren't usually portrayed the best. Do you know what I mean?
That Nancy character, mate. The Nancy in the remake, she kills that film, man.
Oh, you are a big fan of it. You did tell me that.
She kills it. She is the one. She is playing the soul. The reason why that movie bombed. I blame her, right?
Oh wait, I thought you just said you liked it. I thought you did.
I thought he meant he liked it.
Yeah, so did I, bro. I thought you were just talking alright.
No, not the original. No, original girl loved.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, no, that's the same.
She bombed it.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
That makes sense.
I heard that she didn't even want to be in that film. So why be there?
Money, paycheck.
To get paid.
Yeah.
No interest, mate. No interest.
Yeah, but it's heaps of actors.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You
can tell on screen. You can't sit there. No one can sit there and tell me that you can't tell on screen. She had
Loaf, that's what I was saying just before. You can see.
She butchered that film, man.
It was an early.
She is to blame. Fucking for her. She almost wrecked a good remake.
Almost wrecked?
Well, pretty much wrecked a good remake.
So do you class this...
So if she ever comes across this, and you see my face, you fucked it, whoever you are.
Just a quick question for both.
She's a very well-known actor,
she sucks.
Do you class this as... If it was an original movie, okay. Like, say the remake was the original. Do you reckon it would go down as an iconic horror film?
With them actors?
With that movie as the original. Because you called it a good remake, which is a big call to a lot of people.
I'm not.
I know, just let me finish. Just like, like that's a big call to a lot of people. But do you think if this was the original, it would be iconic? Freddy, do you
If it
reckon
was made in
Freddy?
84.
Do you reckon you
That
and
movie was made in 84.
no? If that movie came out in 2010, same time period, but the 84 one never existed, do you think you and Frank would still have Freddy toys behind you right now, or do you reckon it would just be another box office bomb?
That's a fucking good question.
And actually, just so you know, the remake did well at the box office. So
Oh, I'll check.
Well,
just so you know,
I'll have a check.
bring that up. Bring that up.
I know my facts.
We're about to fact check you, mate.
You've done it twice, and I've been right
Do
so
a
far.
solid fact check.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 film.
What
Fact check me. I'm right.
What it made?
It did pretty good at the box office, man. I know it did.
The budget was 35 million,
I knew
Yep.
that.
and it made 115 million. Not bad.
That's
Told
not
you.
bad. That's solid.
And actually, another fun fact for that: Jackie Earl Haley was signed up for another 2 movies as well. That never went ahead.
Because
And
of
the movie-
that bitch.
Doesn't matter, man. The movie was successful. They made their money. So who knows why we didn't see Freddy?
Yeah,
again.
but making your money doesn't always mean a successful movie because it
That's
did
true.
it got
No, that's true. That's
it got
very true.
slammed. It didn't even get above a 10, I don't think.
But
for
most companies
critics
only
ever.
give a shit about making their money back, man.
I
Let's be real.
do understand that, especially horror
But
franchises.
if it clearly critically it wasn't a success then.
Oh, not
Hold
even
on, the
close.
movie's slammed by everybody.
That's right.
Everybody.
So that's why it never got its remake.
Yeah.
I sit in the category of 2% of people who will back this film. That's it.
But that's the case with nearly every remake that was made between 2000
Yeah,
to
do you want it? And
2015.
also,
They all made their money back, but they were
The only
all
remake
hated.
I can think of that got a sequel was The Hills Have Eyes.
no, so did. Oh, well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Texas kind of did as well with
Oh,
the
sorry,
beginning.
Texas got a beginning, didn't they?
But here's the thing: you do understand that
You're
this
forgetting
whole
about
remake era, other than Rob Zombie's Halloween, Platinum Dunes did all these remakes. They did Texas, they did Amityville.
Well,
they
maybe
did Freddy,
take the
they
rights
did
off them
Jason.
then, because they all
hang
suck.
on. I think how many minutes did we get into the episode before we heard that?
Well, the reason I
It's
want to note this
27.
down,
27!
Woo! Rob Zombie, mate, congrats.
Rob Zombie!
I wasn't even backing him. I was just saying, other than his film,
Fucking
because
hell.
Dimension did
Keep
his.
going.
Where was I even at, man?
No, you're
Yeah,
talking
the
about
whole remake
them
era,
only-
Platinum Dooms did it, and the reason I bring this up is because Loaf supported Texas by going, "It's Michael Bay." Michael Bay's the producer of all these films, man. Just so you're aware.
Wait, is he actually?
Yeah, he's Platinum Dunes, bro. Research them all. The beginnings, all of them. Freddy, Jason, Amityville, all of them. Michael Bay's the man, bro. And that was Greg's reason to why the remake was so good.
I love Michael Bay. Oh,
I researched the shit out of these, man. Hey, I'm not gonna
No,
lie.
It got
And then
slammed
it's
so
cool.
hard, bro, from the critics, man. So, do you just want to
Oh,
hear
no.
what it got, the remake?
Yeah, I know what it was.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it a solid 15 out of 100. 15%.
Yep.
That is quite low.
Tell me, did you like so in the original you know how there's like you can tell it's such a Wes Craven, like I got Scream vibes throughout, like you know
Well-
when they're going to school and shit, man?
Yep.
Did you notice how like, you know, there's kind of happy scenes throughout the movie, you know, not all of it's dark as shit.
Yeah.
Straight off the bat, from the Dean gets his throat slit and they're at a funeral and there's no happy scenes throughout
Yeah.
this whole remake.
But that
Where do you
was
sit on that?
you love a good
but,
depressive film.
but that's what I was
Loved
about
it,
to
man.
say,
Loved
Frank.
it.
Like it's that whole era of movies that you were just talking about. They're all
Yeah.
done the exact same way, man.
Yeah.
Find me a happy scene in the Texas remake.
That's what I'm saying. But
There's
Platinum
none.
Dunes did all these films. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. They're all
that's a
in like the
huge
same-
thing. You got to note that down. Like they.
Do you just want to know a little fun fact though?
Alright.
You would know this. The dude who played Freddy on Fire is the same
Yeah.
in the original. It's the same dude who played Ghostface in Scream 1 and 2, like Under the Mask,
Yeah,
which
I
is
believe
pretty
that.
cool. Because
That's cool.
he's like a stuntman, because, you know, he was on fire, and all that shot was real.
Yeah.
Obviously, they actually lit him on fire and stuff, because there's no CG.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've
and
seen it.
another thing I love about the Freddy in the remake is you can generally tell he's fucking pissed off and hates these kids, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when he comes back to the real world and he's beating the shit out of Nancy and Quentin, man. Like you can just see he's fucking angry, bro.
Yeah.
And I didn't really feel like that anger in the original. And not to mention, the original doesn't mention Springwood or Elm Street, which I hated. You don't see it at all or hear about it.
Yeah.
The remake,
the
nails,
movie. Yeah, I know what you mean. But
do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, this is a nightmare on Elm Street. We don't see Elm Street at all. We don't even really know.
In the
kids
remake,
Elm
we
Street.
get a big shot of the Elm Street sign, which is pretty cool.
But something so it was it was pretty obvious what they were going for.
Yeah.
To show she's driving down Elm Street, and I love that, man.
Yeah.
And they obviously nailed Springwood, like the Springwood School. The diner, man, was sick. You know, so I don't know where you sit on that, but yeah, that's how I feel.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. It wasn't that big of a deal, man. Like, the movie's called Nightmare on Elm Street. You know they're in Elm Street. But it's the little details. I know what you mean. But like,
and I'm not talking about that in particular. I'm talking about the aggression of Freddy in the remake.
No, yeah, I can back that. Freddy.
He was fucking angry, bro.
What's his name? The dude who plays him?
Jackie Earl Haley.
Jackie. He plays him with a lot more of just an evil motherfucker. Do you know what I mean? He's a lot more of just like.
But so was Robert Englund.
Yeah, but Robert Englund was constantly like. He fucked around with his victims, like you said, the bit where he cuts and shows the worms, wearing his her friend's face and stuff.
Oh,
like, do you know what I mean? But like, there's so many scenes where he's not just like straight out just trying to murder you.
Yeah, and also a big thing was that in the remake where for a good 5 minutes they made Freddy seem innocent. Now that was a huge thing. So whether this obviously and like the huge things is like.
But that's what I was saying before, man.
They show Freddy getting burned and what happened.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
Kind of wish they went with that,
He was innocent.
I think that would have been a better story than flipping back around to him being a kid.
So just quickly, what was his name?
Really reckon. Sorry, man. Just give me 2 secs. I reckon if they went with that, he was wrongly accused, and that is why he's going for the kids, the children. That would have been a much better story than.
It does make a lot more sense.
Yeah,
that does make.
So much better.
But one scene I was a big fan of.
Was so much better.
What was his name again? Quentin? I can't.
Quentin. Quentin's the main dude. He's like
when they find out that it's all true, I like the way he
reacts.
You know what I mean? He reacts. That's what I said. I like that about his character. He had a actual feel about him. Like, because he thought he was innocent, and then when he finds the photos, he tries to hide them from her, and then she grabs them off him, and he's just like, fuck. Do you know what I mean? It's such a good scene, that.
When we went, Frank, when me and you went.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and I remember when that happened, like, seeing it there for the first time, you're thinking, fuck, like, that's actually a good backstory.
Yeah.
If he's innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and away from that anyway, I want to talk about... So in the original, and this is what made me love it in the remake, because we got to see it.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of, I love the parents, man, and I love the parent story in the Elm Street stories, both of them, right?
Well, you get a proper
the fact that
backstory
shit happened to their... Well, here's my point. Shit, obviously, they did what, they had to do, whatever they... Okay?
Yeah, they killed.
But the fact is that, in the remake, they shown what they fucking did to Freddy.
Yeah.
Like, they've shown him going and getting burned and not it just being talked about.
Yeah, but see, the thing I liked more about the original was they said that they went to court and then he got let off, so they killed him.
Yeah.
But then in the remake, they just say they just want to kill him. Like, they didn't even, do you know what I mean?
And not really. The kids went back to home and saying...
The kids said, why don't you go... No, the kids said, why don't you go to the police? And then they just, ignore the question, and then Freddy shows the backstory in the very next scene.
Yeah,
but you actually get, in the original, we tried to send him to jail. He got let off whatever it was. And then they took it into their own hands, which makes, more sense again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just more logical.
Okay, I suppose we kind of talked about it, touched on it, but I might as well ask it anyway. Both opinions on the Freddys. Let's split them. Now, a lot of people, you're going to hear a lot of horror fans and even our fans eventually will say in the comeback and in the comments, don't kill us for us, don't shoot us down for it. We know Robert Englund is the pinnacle of Freddy Krueger, but one day you're all going to have to accept the fact that we're going to get another Nightmare on Elm Street and someone else is going to play Freddy. So let's compare them now, just like we're going to compare someone else down the track as well.
Yeah,
All right, let's compare them.
Well, you start
off.
Now,
we all know Robert Englund is the king, all right? And I think HG touched on it last week.
Can I just pull something up for the... Can I just pull something up for the boys before we do this?
Yeah, I'd love to see this.
I can't. But you can't tell me that looks good.
Oh, we're going. I was comparing just all round.
I know, but this is a big thing that ticks me off because the look of a character is a big thing in the movie. Yeah. You cannot look... You cannot.
Pick the shittest photo.
That's the photo that comes up. You cannot tell me that like it looks good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've picked the shittest photo here.
Compared to that looks so much better.
Yeah.
It just does, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. But other than that, I just think all around that Robert Englund's just iconic. Like I said before, if that movie,
it's hard to because we're only talking about the original and remake.
Yeah.
Because if I was getting into Freddy
mode,
as a whole character and comparing him to the remake one, I mean, if you've seen Freddy and Freddy's Dead, now that's shit.
Yeah, but Freddy's... Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but that's not the point of the movie.
I know that's not the point. I just wanted to note that.
Yeah, but we could also say if this got five sequels, the Freddy would probably be even worse than that. Like at the rate of this, do you know what I mean? You can't compare. Can't pick one out of the 7, 8 movies they have to compare it to the shit.
And this is why I really wish people would give this Elm Street movie more respect than what it does. Like, if you're an ultimate Freddy fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Huge Freddy fan.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The last time you seen Freddy in a solo Freddy movie was Freddy's Dead. That is complete.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Yeah.
Was it Wes Craven's New Nightmare? Was it? Was
that?
that?
But that wasn't. I don't think that was
technically not even Freddy, bro. So
that wasn't
Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
It's technically not Freddy.
Yeah, it's like
right.
It's like they try to do Inception.
Shit.
It's like Inception, but
so I'm kind of riding away. Freddy's last appearance as Robert Englund was Freddy vs. Jason.
Someone in the comments can tell us.
Do you reckon?
No,
what do you reckon
right.
Freddy's darkest movie is out of the originals, excluding 2010, obviously? Do you reckon it'd be Freddy vs. Jason?
When you see Scariest?
Yeah, do you reckon, like just meanest?
Part two.
What about the brawl he has with Jason, man? That's like...
No, Scariest Freddy, man, is one of the best scenes of
I'm
Freddy.
not talking scariest. I'm just talking like dark. Do you know what I mean? But that's...
I told you, for Nightmare on Elm Street 2. When he jumps out of the pool and just goes fucking ape shit on everyone, man. He's the man in that. I know everyone will criticise me, but fuck it. I'll gun it. Part 2's good, man.
Okay, we're talking about originals and remakes anyway.
Yeah, okay. So back to the original remakes.
Comparing the Freddy's, bro. Well, I love them. I love them both, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna literally sit on that. I love them both.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, I've listened to a lot of people hate the remake Freddy. I've also heard a lot of people like it. Yeah. And man, Jackie Earl Haley did a fantastic job as Freddy, man.
I can't argue that.
I love his voice, man. I thought the scenes were like dark and eerie as shit, bro. I don't know. Every time he's on screen, man, my eyes are like that. I'm intrigued.
All right, Frank.
Love them both.
I love this film. Who do you prefer? Who's your preferred Freddy? Go on.
If I'm being honest, it's just a remake, man. And this is why I messaged Loaf and I said, people are going to hate me, man. And I said, it's time that... I always backseated this movie because so many people hate it. And I messaged him and said, man, it's time I'm just honest with myself, man. I fucking love the remake, and that's just how I feel about the movie. I watched it twice.
I think I've said this before.
I'm not even kidding. I watched the movie twice on movie day. I loved it, bro. Shoot me down. I tweeted at Cody Leach and told him to.
I think I've said this before. Out of all the remakes in this era, the probably worst reincarnation of a villain would be this Freddy. Out of Halloween, out of Friday the 13th.
Are you going... Man, I reckon Chucky's not far behind, but...
Because I have... But put it this way. So I have heaps of things...
I don't get that.
No, just let me finish. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So I have heaps of things I find wrong with the with the Friday the 13th film. But the Jason's cool. Like, he's a fucking badass. Awesome. Same with the Rob Zombie's Halloween movie. There's a lot of shit you guys know I don't like about that movie.
What time is it now the Rob Zombie mentioned?
40 minutes in.
Celebration!
Woo! So in the Rob Zombie Halloween movie, there's a lot of shit I don't like in that movie too. But Michael's sick as fuck.
Yeah.
But this movie, it just isn't that...
Really?
It's not that same thing. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you...
I'm looking at It. I love It. Everyone loves It.
Oh, man.
Pennywise.
Oh, man.
Do you know what I mean? But do you know what I'm saying? Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, this Freddy...
Pennywise, bro.
I know. This Freddy... We'll get into that later. But this Freddy just doesn't have that factor to him.
Really, bro? See, that's where I strongly disagree, bro. I think he's more
Out of
badass.
all them movies, no.
I think he's more badass than... I mean, he's definitely more badass than Chucky remake. Okay, it's just a simple fact, and I'd love to go down the Chucky lane, original and remake, because that'd be a hot topic now. Anyways, besides that, so you said...
Put it this way.
Obviously, Jason's badass, Rob's... Michael's badass.
If the Friday the 13th remake Jason fought this Freddy, it'd be over in 3 seconds. You would just grab him and pummel the fuck out of him.
Well, sorry, this Jack Haley's Freddy is not a ninja like Robert Englund's in Freddy vs. It was WWE, man, half that movie. Stop it, elbows. Right, come on, that was a bit far-fetched, but anyways.
Yeah.
I disagree, bro, but I see what you mean. I disagree. I think this Freddy's badass as shit, bro.
Both gave our opinions on who we like better. Obviously, I like the original one better. You like
I'm split. I like them both, but I'm going to go remake.
What do you reckon, Loaf?
I'm remake. It's 1-1.
You're the decider. Original. Okay, nice.
Yeah, by a mile, by a long shot. And I'm with the rest of the world. He is the Freddy.
He is, yeah. But
He'll
like
always be the Freddy.
Yeah.
But like I said, we know. But in saying that, there is talks of Heather Langenkamp, the original Nancy, and Robert Englund coming back for one more show.
Ooh.
And I would love to see it. It's meant to be a playoff straight, as this is the new thing.
But like you said, Loaf.
Forget the sequels. And
like you said, Loaf. Like you said, people one day are going to have to accept the fact that there's going to be another Nightmare on Elm Street. That there's going to be another Freddy. Maybe you don't have to like this 2010 version, but eventually it's such a big franchise, it's going to be redone.
Yeah.
And I think people are going to have to accept the fact of that. And I know that it's hard sometimes when, like Robert Englund,
it was the Chucky
so
thing.
good.
You've got to accept it. Like,
yeah,
but see, I'm a fan. Like you said, I'm a fan of the way they took the Chucky remake. Not so much I am Friday the 13th.
There's one thing that this is
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
We won't jump into that, but
we won't jump to that just yet. We might say that for another show, maybe. But like, I just like Robert Englund. I'm comparing him from 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to forget 5, 6, and 7.
Well, you can't.
Well, that's just in my brain.
Yeah. Well, you can't. Just so you know.
But I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm doing that.
You can't.
Let's excuse the ones where he's completely and utter shit.
But see,
focus on the ones.
That's not just him. You've got to remember there is a script to it. Okay.
That's
yeah,
right.
but why didn't he demand a better script?
Because
money.
Bro, you don't know he didn't.
Yeah, it's true. Freddy's dead.
And
so shit, man.
everybody knows that movie companies are stingy. Like they just do what they want. They don't give a shit.
I used to rent that all the time, by the way, Frank.
What?
Freddy's Dead all the time. I used to have a poster, eh?
Why
so
did you
bad.
just like it, or was it like?
I had a big fuck off Freddy's Dead poster. But like, yeah. Look, Robert Englund. Comparing these two, anyway. Yeah, it's Robert Englund. Jack, I'll always say it, man. He was solid, eh? He was solid. Like he wasn't shit, man. He wasn't.
It's not.
He wasn't.
It doesn't even feel like. I'm not saying he's the issue. But I'm just talking like they feel like completely different characters at points, man.
Mm.
Do you have to like
what?
Okay, I'll ask you this question: what similarities do they have except for the costume they're wearing? They don't act the same. What similarities do they have except for the fact that his name's Freddy?
You remember, like the original
The
original Freddy's voice is dark as shit, man.
Yeah, but it
it's
doesn't
deep
sound
as
like
shit.
It doesn't sound like Christian Bale's Batman.
Well, this is.
It seems like who directed this movie?
Sometimes
it feels like he just finished watching Batman Begins, started writing the script. And he's like, Freddy in Batman voice says. Do you know what I mean? Like at points of it, just
I don't see it. It's kind of funny.
I don't see it as well. But...
I don't hear it anyway. That's for sure.
His voice is so good.
Man, his voice is such a pinnacle. Like that's what's so capturing for me, bro. Is his voice.
He's got some solid one-liners, man. Eh?
One-liners are great, man.
He's one-liners are good.
One-liners compare nothing. He copies half of the Robert Englund ones.
Oh, look. There
is a lot of Robert Englunds in there, but they mix them up in like, oh God, and he's like, no, just me. And in the original, she's like, oh God, and he goes, this is God, and that's at the start.
We'll jump to a sec, but the best one when it's what's his name? When he's tucked in like that, and he's like, what? I haven't even cut you yet. I just see.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Like I watched it with Mrs. last night. She actually liked the remake over the original.
Yeah, so I respect the shit out of that.
But see, that's what I said. Going back to what I said earlier, like he is more of a badass villain. Like he's more scared.
Can I defend you? Can I defend him for a second? So I know what you're saying. Other than the costume, what is the same?
No, yeah, I'm asking what similarities do they have except for the name and the costume.
To answer that with Child's Play, other than the fact that his name's Chucky.
But see,
and you like that movie, bro.
Yeah, but they went a completely different direction. Like, there's scenes in this movie that are... The bathtub one, man. I know they don't, it doesn't finish the same, but it's the same angle.
None of them finish the same, by the way.
I know. It's the same angle. It's the same angle, same shot. It's like they literally just took the shot and then put it in this movie because they couldn't be fucking.
I don't hate that about the remake. The thing that pisses me off that they didn't tell Wes about this movie.
Yeah, they did. That's what another thing I was going to bring up. They didn't.
And I don't care.
No, they did tell Wes.
I don't like that.
They did tell Wes, but he didn't want them to do it, and they didn't console him about going ahead with it.
That's the same as my best mate, the Child's Play.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Don Mancini.
Yeah, same as Don Mancini.
You got to accept it.
But Don Mancini's got it back now, so like.
Yeah, but Don always had it. He just doesn't have the rights to
I didn't know there was a Nightmare on Elm Street TV show in there.
Yes, it was. It was a TV series, yes.
Has anyone watched?
I have. I used to watch it on TMC on Ozstar.
Is it bad?
Yeah.
I only heard about it the other day, man. Like,
Jumbo, you didn't watch it.
Can we go back to Nancy for a second?
Oh, we can go.
So obviously a big letdown for me in the remake is Nancy, right? First and second act, she's woeful, man. Like, I mean, utter dog shit, right? Yeah. And that is comparing her to the OG Nancy, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The third act, I felt it got better, and I felt that's only because Quentin was like so good.
That's what I was saying, bro.
In like the panicking stages of this movie, I thought Nancy was pretty good.
I reckon it's because the director said, "Listen, love, we're at the end.
Can you at least try? Yeah, like, can you at least just like put some emotion in the script?"
All jokes aside, I want to know why is she so emo? Why is she drawing pictures and where'd that come into it? What was that inspired by?
That's horrible, man.
There would be a backstory, but it's just
I want to know why. I'm not bagging it out yet. But what was the whole point of that?
I don't think any of us knows, but
if I could, and was in her head still, maybe I don't know.
If I had to guess, it would be just the way they tried to differentiate the characters. You know what I mean?
Sucked. That's what I hated.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. If I had to guess why it was
I know
like
you're gonna you compare Tina to Chris, right? Two blonde-headed girls get chucked around the room.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Chris was, equally as okay to Tina?
No, Tina was much better.
And here's another huge thing I found.
To be fair, we didn't get tons of.
At the start of the movie in the original, here's the thing: it's the first 15 minutes you only meet really Tina.
That's what I just said.
They palm it off to like she's the main character of this movie. Next minute she's flipped around the room. She's dead.
That's what I was saying, Frank. Like we don't really get enough of them to.
The remake didn't really do that. Yeah. All right. Okay.
But that also gave us the best kill of the movie. So.
And the thing I hated in the original, right? It's like Tina, who's her boyfriend, man? The dude literally pulls out a switchblade knife on this guy, and then she just goes and has sex with him anyway. Like, why? Why? Just pull the knife on the other dude. Anyways, what I loved about the characters in the remake, other than Nancy, right?
Yeah.
And I'll defend nearly all of them, bro. I loved Jesse in particular, the guy who was with Chris.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the dude who was in the bed when she was getting thrown around?
Yeah.
Man, I thought his acting, man, was so good after that scene. Like, when he's in the jail cell and he's like tapping on the bed, man, like literally going fucking insane, bro.
Well,
I like the way they did his kill too. Like he was getting bailed.
Yeah, man, he made it feel like he's generally struggling, but bro, he wants to sleep. He don't know what the fuck's going on, and like he's going mental in that cage, dude. Going, what the fuck is just? Like, he doesn't even care he's been chucked in with another cellmate.
Yeah.
Like he's just all Freddy focused. Like I thought his acting was brilliant, man. I love that. Other than Nancy, they did well.
Absolutely. Right, boys. Let's get final thoughts.
Yeah,
on each
I think it's around that time.
Around that time, and give our rating and see whether where the official table is.
So did we all pre-write out?
Who wants to go first? H does.
Just quickly, did
I'm
we
going last all the
all
time.
pre-write out? I think mine's a bit. Yeah, I will go first because I think I'm the most clear cut on where I stand.
Yeah, you are. You definitely are.
So obviously, I'll start with the 2010 movie because it's the one I like the least. Out of
No,
the
why don't we
two.
just go original remake
Okay,
first?
okay, I'll go.
We'll do
original.
that. 'cause
Okay,
it's-
easy. So I love everything about the movie pretty much, except for, like I said, there's a few times where it's just the ending, especially. I wish it just wasn't there. If a movie like ended where they like defeat him when they turn their back, it would have been a million times better. I know Loaf said that there is alternative endings that you can get now, but obviously we didn't watch them. But with
Harry, yeah, you've got your score, right?
yeah, I've got it written down.
I'm going to cut you off. I just want to note out that I didn't bring up this, and this dropped my score hugely, right?
Yeah,
And it has to be mentioned, right? Because it's the dumbest shit in a movie ever.
yeah,
Towards the end of the original, Nancy's just pulled Freddy out of the dream world, correct?
yeah, and he's disappeared
Across
off
across the street is all the police, okay?
yeah.
They're there to investigate a murder, a suspected murder. She's in her window,
Screaming
for
at them.
about 5 minutes,
Yeah.
screaming at them. They're like, oh. Mate, you're over there investigating a murder, bro. They don't run over to her.
Okay, got
They
dropped
don't
by
give a shit.
got dropped by
Final
0.2 points for that.
I've ever heard lazy writing, mate.
No,
That is horrible.
I get that, except for more lazy
That
writing.
dropped my score so much, man.
Well, her falling asleep at the funeral better drop your score too. So, my score for the remake,
You don't
for the
need to
original,
score yet.
you
Don't score.
don't score.
No,
So
no,
I
just
did
your
find
final thoughts.
I did find that dumb, Frank. I do agree
Yep.
because they are there investigating a murder and they have.
And she's literally screaming
And
out, bro.
she has warned them that she thinks, like, do you know what I mean? Stuff's
Yeah.
happening to
So
her too.
what's your final thoughts on
Oh,
both?
I love the movie. I love the original. The remake, I liked a lot more than I did when I originally watched it. Like, I've already said that. But like I said, man, there's so many times that, especially with Freddy, Freddy's my biggest issue with the movie. He's just so different. But I don't hate the movie. I
Beautiful.
don't hate it at all. I thought I would have hated it a lot more. But I'll get to my scores now.
No scores yet.
No score?
No scores yet. No,
Okay.
we'll do that last. All right, horror talk special right there. Okay, so my final thoughts. Look, you got to remember back in the day, in the 80s, 90s, and all that, these films that we iconically love these days weren't critically successful.
Yeah, critically.
So what I'm getting at here is that this was made 3 years before I was born.
Yep.
That it probably wasn't critically successful, but it was successful in fans,
Yeah.
right? Same goes to the remake.
Can I stop you quickly?
It's like a fine wine. So this remake, yes, someone's going to say to me, you're kidding yourself, blah, blah, blah. Look, I'm not. Over time, and the next generation of horror fans coming through are going to watch this film as their main one. And it's just eventually, over time, going to become a good film and a popular film in the franchise. What I'm getting at is both films are solid, but it's nowhere near, like I said last week, Texas was right up his ass, right? This week, no way. It still fails in a lot of aspects, but I still think over time, it does get better. Every time I've watched it, it's gotten better. When I first went to the pictures and seen it, I loved it.
Yeah.
But then as time it went down, but now, it's come back up again.
Well-
So final thoughts on both films. Both pretty solid films, but the remake will forever always beat it.
Yeah, nice. Well, I just want to quickly add there, the original movie did get nearly a perfect score.
Oh, beautiful. Cool.
Off a few different critics.
Right,
Wait,
Frank.
did you say the remake beats it?
No.
Original.
No, you just said the remake
No,
does.
he said that he felt Texas was right up
Yeah,
the
Texas.
rim's ass, but this one is not.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously, this is huge, man. Okay, the original, look, it's a better movie, okay, and that's how it is, all right. But it doesn't change the fact that I love the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. So I'm just gonna keep it short this time round, and I'll just keep it short as fuck. So I feel the original's a better movie.
Yeah.
But like Loaf said last week, Texas is up its ass. For me, the remake's just up its ass. I have the biggest soft spot for the remake. I don't know why, man. The movie intrigues the shit out of me every time. I felt like they were genius in their own ways with the micro naps. I feel like the movie's so underlooked for a specific reason that I do hate. I think we all know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't, we'll later on. I feel like that killed the movie and Nancy. But yeah, the original was the better movie.
Boys. All right, so what we're going to do is, just for anyone that's watching our show for the first time, is we're giving it a score, each film out of 10, and each week.
So out of 30 for the collective of three.
Out of 30.
So how it will work, Frank will give his score, I'll give my score, Loaf will give his score, and the max you can get is 30. Obviously, the lowest you can get is...
So we're going to go around the table. We'll do original first, then remake. And Harry, H, you've got the table in front of you.
Yeah.
To make adjustments. So at the moment, number one.
I want to note, Harry forgot to put up the table last week.
That was only because there was only 2 movies, and
that's all right. So there's 2 films on there at the moment. So who wants to? We're going to go H, me, and Frank.
Yeah. So I give the
H, go.
The original score I give it is a 7.7 out of 10.
Wow.
7.7.
Wow. Was that more than Texas you gave last week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 7.2. 7.2 on the original.
Okay, nice.
And the original, yep.
Yeah.
I've lost it, hang on. I'll give it a 6.9.
Oh.
So
alright, what's the final tally on that? Who's doing the tally?
That's a 21.8. That would put it just in second place, I'm pretty sure.
H.
So, what I give the remake, you guys might think this is a bit low, but I give it a 5.
Flat 5.
A flat 5.
Flat 5.
Flat 5. Over to you,
Alright. 4.8.
4.8, okay.
Yeah.
Now, Frank, the 10 out of 10, here it comes.
How does the 4.8 even make sense to what we just spoke about?
Because I don't like that thing.
I don't like the main character. What do you mean?
No.
And yeah, Loaf is very turned off by a big thing we didn't mention in the episode.
Turned off
for certain reasons,
if that
which is
wasn't
fair. Which most people will pick up on what that is. But obviously we don't want to mention it on the podcast. No. It's just dumb.
That is stupid, yeah. But also note there was a part of the original idea. Okay.
But they left it out.
I give it
Yep.
I give it I've lost it.
10 out of 10 flat. You watch.
I'll give it a 10. Nah, I'm joking. I'll give it a 6.7 out of 10.
Ooh, so what's its final score there?
16.5.
What was it?
16.5.
It would be last.
Yeah.
It's last at the moment.
Wait, 16.5?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Add that up. 4.3 Loaf?
Oh no,
4.8. No, 4.8.
4.8 plus 6.9. That's a 16.7.
16.7. So do we have final standings? H, do we have final standings in
No,
points,
I can't pull it up until after, but I'm 90% sure that it is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre in first place on 22 points.
Yep.
Then the original Nightmare on Elm Street on 21.8.
Yep.
And then I'm pretty sure the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is 21 point something.
No, I'm pretty sure it's 20.
Yeah, 20.
Yep.
But this will all be finalised at the end of the episode for everyone watching. Yep. And then that just got a 16 points. What was it? 16.7?
16.7.
Jot that down, H.
Yeah,
that's pretty high, I reckon.
Yeah.
30. I mean...
Well, Loaf gave it a...
Obviously,
I gave it a 5. You gave it a 4.
My score's the one that give it that 16, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
it won't finish last.
And here's the thing, 6.7, man, if people watch through to the end, they're going to criticize the shit out of me, man. I just got to the point where I'm sick of I love the movie, bro. Yep. That's where I'm at with it, so yeah. I'm being honest.
Well, boys,
I think that wraps up the episode, lads, Nelly.
That wraps up.
So that's it for the episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed our Nightmare on Elm Street look over. If you guys enjoyed the episode and want to watch more, every Monday at 5 p.m, the boys will be here. Make sure you turn on notifications, like, subscribe, and comment. With all that being said, until next time, boys.
Oh, don't forget, we are also in audio form as well.
On Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Music, if I'm correct. Well, till next time, lads. See you all. Peace.
Peace.